Hello, and welcome back to Living with a Leukodystrophy. I'm Carol Cross, your host, and with me again in the studio is Miss Laura Cross, who is an individual living her life with a leukodystrophy. Hello again, Laura.
Oh,
How are you doing today?
fun.
That's good. I'm glad to hear it. So, a few episodes ago, we talked about, I think one of our first episodes, we talked about possible treatments for the leukodystrophies and how not very many of the leukodystrophies have treatments, but some of them do. And a common treatment is a bone marrow transplant for the leukodystrophy. So you, Miss Cross, had one of these when you were very young,
Yeah,
when you were 19 days old. So you don't remember a lot of that.
no.
Yeah, so that halted the progression initially of the disease. So it was a really important treatment, your initial treatment for your leukodystrophy. But today we wanted to talk about some other treatments for leukodystrophies, maybe things that come later on in your life when you're living with a leukodystrophy, things that you might have needed as you've gone on and things have come up. So we thought today, thank you for being willing to be open about some of these things in your life that they've had to have done. So I just wanted to maybe open it up and what are some of the things, have you had to have some surgeries or some things that you've had done to help with your leukodystrophy, living with your leukodystrophy?
Yes, three surgeries.
Okay. What was the first surgery that you had to have that you can remember?
You could and
Adductor
yeah,
releases?
yeah, really.
So how do they do that? What do they have to do to make that happen?
Cut them.
Okay, so they cut the muscle
Yeah,
or the tendon, and so that allowed you to have some kind of stretch a little bit more in those areas in your heel cord
yeah,
and in your adductor, which is
yeah,
the way your legs can open. Your heel cord is the way when you're standing, that instead of having your heel up in the air, your heel is able to go flat on the ground. Yeah. So that was an important surgery for you when you were really young. And after that surgery, did that help with your heel cords? And
yeah.
it did. Okay. And then, so did you have to maintain that flexibility? What did you have to do to maintain the flexibility? So you do stretches, a lot of stretches, but what's something about for your heel cord? What have you done? So what is something that you do now to maintain the flexibility in your heel cord?
Is my first level.
Wow. Okay, so this is your very first ADAFO. Let me see that. And I should probably know what that stands for, but no, that's the company. So the DAFO, that acronym DAFO, stands for something to do with this. But so these were kind of like little boots that Laura wore that allowed this maintenance of the 90-degree angle on her ankle. So we kept this very first one. You can tell she was not going for any subtle kind of fashion statement. I think she picked this out herself when she was probably about 3. And it was about the brightest colors she could find, and that was her style. That kind of captures Laura's personality pretty well. So that was her very first DAFO. It's very cute, isn't it?
Yeah, and the
Yes, I used to call them princess shoes. So I would say we have to get your princess shoes on, right? And when you were little, you really liked that name. That only princesses could wear those shoes. That's right. Okay, so your first surgery was about trying to get more flexibility in your heel cords and your adductors. What was your second surgery that you had?
Spinal fusion.
Yeah, that was a big surgery.
Which when I was remember very well.
Yeah, because you were about 12-ish,
Yeah.
12 or 13 years old. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as a result of your spinal fusion, something kind of went off with your hip, and then you had to have,
Hip surgery.
yeah, the following year. So those are
Yeah.
like your three big surgeries, right, that you can remember.
Yeah.
And you really haven't had any surgeries since your hip surgery,
Yeah,
so,
no.
you know, almost 10 years, not something like
Yeah,
that,
no.
because you're in your 20s now. So, yeah.
Mm.
So besides surgeries, is there anything else that you do to help, just to help your ability to function, to do things like, is there something else you do? Are you on any medications? Okay, do you take any medications though? Do you take any medications every day?
No, except for daily vitamins.
Okay, so you don't take any medications, but you mentioned that you get Botox?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then every 3 months.
Okay, so that like 4 times a year then you
Yeah.
get Botox injections. And where do you get those injections?
My arms.
Okay. You get them like in your arms, like here, and that helps your hands, your fingers,
Yeah.
right? And then where else did you get them? A new place that you just got them last time? Your biceps, yeah. So that, when you got them in the bicep, that helped you be able to like put your arms down and up, yeah. So these things, when you get the Botox, right, that helps you, like when you're driving your wheelchair, right, helps you
Yeah.
drive your wheelchair, helps you do stuff like on the iPad, you have an
Yeah.
iPad, you can do stuff on iPad. It helps you, like if you're lifting up a cup to drink, then you can do
Yeah.
that yourself. So the Botox injections are really helping with your function, your daily function, just
Yeah.
things that you do. Yeah. Well, those are interesting things then, so that you do now and that you've done after that initial treatment for your leukodystrophy that help you just maintain your quality of life, that you're able to function and do things, right? That it helps your body. Yeah. And it wasn't until you were kind of started your teenage years where these things were more
Yeah.
important, yeah, and more needed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anything else that you want to add about things that you need to do, like, or just that things that have helped you as you've been living your life with the leukodystrophy?
No.
Not really. Okay. That covered it, maybe. Did that kind of cover it? This.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Miss Cross, for sharing all those things that you've done. You're a pretty tough cookie that you went through all of those things and had those surgeries and everything. So they were really difficult to get through, but you did it.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you again for.
Plus,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
my name, Laura, comes from the Laura,
Laurel. Uh-huh.
which a victory.
That's right. Your name is a Roman name, and it comes from the laurel leaf, which was a crown for the victor. And so your name does mean that. Yeah, yeah, that's good. All right. Well, I think that's about it for us today. Thank you again for watching and learning a little bit more about what it's like to live with a leukodystrophy. And we will see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.